Oh, yes, peace and blessings. You see that right there? I know it's bright, but I call you son because you shine like one. No, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Today is December the 8th, making today's math, or today's degree, the 8th degree, as far as the day, which is build and destroy, um, which is the the process of adding or subtracting to oneself, whether knowingly or unknowingly, um, and of course, building will be adding to oneself, and subtracting would be destroying or taken away from. But the total digit summation for today is 15, right? December 3, 2020 is 4. 3 and 4 is 7 plus 8 is, yeah, 15. Giving us a higher degree, or like the day would just be the basic. You look at the day, you look at the calendar, whatever the date, like the day is. That to me would just be like not the first degree. Well, I guess you would say the first degree. And then the day in the month, like in numerology. This author, I think her name is, I know her last name is, I think it's Gladys McCants or Glennis. I don't know what her name is, but she had a book called Love by the Numbers, where she explained like your life path number and your destiny number and your soul number and all of this different stuff. And the way you get these different numbers would be just your actual day, then your day and your month added together, then your day, your month, and your year added together. So this is why I feel like this is different levels of degrees. So on the first level, today's math would be the 8th. On the second level, today's math would be 11, the 11th degree, because 12 and 8 is 11. Or wisdom, when still reduced to a single digit. And the grand, or the third level, the highest level, would be 15, or knowledge, power, refinement, all showing and proving equality. 1 plus 5 is 6. And this, I just think it's, not funny, because like, again, all of the numbers play off of each other. But how yesterday was the 7th, and the total for today was 14, meaning knowledge should be the way of life, or the culture, in search of, or in pursuit of, freedom. And of course, that 1 and 4 make 5, which is power, which is rooted in the truth, and the truth is 7, the God self. Just like today, the first degree, or the first level, is 8, but then the third degree is 15. 15, which is knowledge of that truth, gives power, which must be refined, and then it shows and prove equality. And how important is equality in building and destroying? Because when you only focus on one or the other, this is imbalance. We must be conscious to the fact that even to build, sometimes things must be destroyed. Like, to build a house, the trees have to be destroyed. Even if you wanted to make mud bricks, the ground would have to be destroyed in order to build. And just vice versa. Let's say we wanted to, trying to think of a good example, but let's say we were wanted to destroy the lower self or the ego. The way to do that, really, you can't just destroy the ego. In order to destroy the ego, what you really do is build the God self or the high self. So again, today's math is, the first degree is 8, or build and destroy. And the third degree would be knowledge of power and refinement, showing and proving equality. Meaning, once you know that you have this power, that is the power of God's self, the power to build and destroy. Not only must you refine it and continuously attempt to find more truth, or deeper truths, or more alignment with the truth, we must also be equal in this power to build and destroy. Like I said, you must be mindful that you can't, like, the middle path is the best path to take. If you take the left path or the right path, that's where you're going to end up. If that makes any kind of sense. And most of the time, when you pick one path, you ignore the other path. And when you ignore that path, like, if you were to only build and not to focus on destroying, the things that you didn't destroy would destroy you, or at least destroy what you're trying to build. So we just must always be mindful of our own power, that we in this power must be refined, that it's constantly put through the ringer, so to speak, put to the test. Life tests you every day anyway. The question is, as my sister would say, how do you show up? If you're showing up with this knowledge of self, and you're acting on this knowledge of self with wisdom, and because of such, you are gaining an understanding of the nature of reality, your actions, and the consequences of them, and you're doing it in a way that you're showing up like this every time, everywhere. That's the way of life. And on this path, not the final destination, but the actual path itself is one of truth, which is where your power comes from. But again, like I say, it must be refined. It's easy to get distracted or sidestep and stray from the path, especially with all these things going on. Like, everything is, not everything, because, I'm not, but most things in this society, and when I say that, I mean American society. Unfortunately, I've never lived anywhere else, so I don't really know how it is over there. But myself, I know personally that in America, most systems are in place to keep you in a state of darkness, away from the light. which is only way they can really do that would be to trick your mind into not knowing or not remembering, because really you already, everything that you will ever learn is already inside of you. Everything is like in your DNA, and then like your DNA is the composition, its composition. It is a composite of all of your ancestors' DNA. Everything they did, all their experiences, all their knowledge, all they love, all they hate, all of their everything culminated to you. So everything they ever knew is in you. And then again, we are God, as in God's self, as in connected to the greatest source, the Most High. Which is why when you come to this knowledge of self and know that you are God and you are equal in this power, as you build and destroy, you can make born whatever you wish or whatever you will. Especially when, like I say, you are also equal in your building and destroying, to the point where you're not trying to manipulate or take advantage, or which is why I'm really leery about taking on quote unquote students, because I don't think you need, like, that's how the 120 lessons originally was given. You had an enlightener who gave you 120 lessons. You went and studied and memorized them, and then once you had them all memorized, you were allowed to build with the gods and add to what you know, to your 120. Because you get the knowledge of 120, right? Then you get the wisdom of 120, meaning you got this knowledge and now you're putting it into action. And then you get the understanding of 120, which after you get the knowledge and you put it into action, once the action is complete, you have a clear picture of what just transpired. And this is the understanding of the 120. So knowledge 120, wisdom 120, understanding 120 is 360. That is the cipher. But yes, let's build love and let's destroy this lowest self that we all share. Peace, blessings, knowledge, power, refinement, and equality to all, and for all, and by all, and all that good stuff.